What up, y'all? Back like some retro J's. We are the Disrespective Collective. I am Craig Smith, a.k.a. Sensei Life, here with...
It's your boy Queese, a.k.a. Dash. We have episode 35, like Kevin Durant. He said not to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway because I couldn't think of another player.
And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Like I said, and I said before, man, we are here. We don't mean to offend. And if you heard something that does offend you, blame yourself for listening. I don't know why I like saying that. We don't really be too offensive, but it just sets the tone that if somebody feel that way up
probably
top.
do be offending people. They'll be all right, though. They get over it.
They definitely will. How was the weekend before we get into some of this fuck shit?
I mean,
I gotta stop cursing up top too. That's why we don't get shared on YouTube and the algorithms. I be cursing in the first 2 minutes.
I'm gonna have to blank you right out for that one.
I know, right?
See, I'm actually conscious this episode not to do it. See, I gotta be a little more calm.
I'm about to stop freaking cursing.
But no, it was cool, man. Everything was going smooth over the weekend. So I saw the news of one of my favorite battle rappers because I think he's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? News came across that Pat Stay passed away. So R.I.P. to Pat Stay.
R.I.P. to Pat Stay. I unfortunately came upon him this game diss with the Eminem diss, and then went back and was like, oh, he was actually that dude in the battle rap world. Yeah. So, but I'm glad that I did get, put up on him nonetheless through the music side, and he definitely was barring motherfuckers up because barring people up.
Can't help it.
Because he killed that track. I'm not even gonna call it that, but that track he dropped, the last one he did, it was bars in there.
Yeah, he nice. Like he my favorite Canadian battle rapper. Like some people like Sharon, and it's a couple other people, but like Pat Stay was one of the few dudes who was cool to black folks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at some of them, Canadian battle rappers like cornballs. Like, oh, this corny nigga. Pat Stay was one of the few dudes who actually was like, we accepted Pat Stay. Like you ain't had no beef. I didn't even know it was a divide,
man. I'm not in the battle rap culture like that, but I do know the American battle rappers, I guess.
It was a divide as far as like who, like you say URL, for example. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even have most of them Canadian, like they call them. They actually from KOTD, so they don't even like. They don't rock with them. They be like, nobody want to listen to them in our particular stage. But Pat Stay crossed all the lines. Pat Stay can go anywhere, inside the country, outside the country, hood, burbs, England, didn't matter. Everybody rock with Pat Stay. So just want to send a shout out to his family. You know what I'm saying? Send my condolences to Pat Stay and his child. He was a very advocate father. As a father, I get in my feelings. I be getting in my feelings these days, bro. Stuff be happening.
That's when you get older, man. You start getting in your feelings. I've always had a affinity for like just seeing fathers do father shit naturally. If y'all know, we ain't got to get into it right now. Yeah. But yeah, that is extra shit. That's you feel extra when you hear that. I always think about damn, like. Because obviously relating, it's like, damn, they had kids and shit that's going. So, yeah, man, rest in peace to Pat Stay. Condolences to his family, man.
It's tragic.
It's tragic. Hey, coming from that, it's wild to kind of, this ain't really no better to get into.
It's tragic, though.
Yeah, it is tragic. It is tragic. My weekend, by the way, it really didn't consist of nothing. I'm waiting on 2K, so that's all I can tell you. 2K come out Friday. I got 4 more days left because if we don't count today. Anyways.
I already got it pre-ordered.
Bruh. So, yeah, other news that came out over the weekend and we going to touch on real quick. No pun intended. Tiffany and Aries situation.
That was terrible.
They going through some lawsuit or whatever, and I will start off by saying this. I don't believe the lawsuit is true. I don't believe that these allegations are true, and they are allegations until they're not allegations. But I will say this. That skit was horrific. I don't understand nothing about it, and if you look at the history of those skits by, I probably shouldn't talk on this too much, but anyway, if you look at the history of the skits by the guy, it's a lot of cringeworthy stuff that's a lot of miss more than hit from what I've seen. That don't mean to speak on it overall. I'm just saying with these skits that happened in that time frame. So for them to go this far with one is kind of being like, wow. And now the only other thing I have to say about this is like the fact that all of this came from you thinking it'd be a good idea to get some buzz by saying something about Lizzo, and then all of a sudden You messed up so bad that you got you and a bystander hit. Nobody was talking about this, bringing it up. This was like dead in the water, old news type stuff. And who knows? It was just always that ammo. That's how it goes and how they always got that ammo for you.
I'ma say it. You might not say it. I'ma say it. You a trick ass. That's what I'm gonna say about Aries. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm all for the like comedic things that's on like the borderline. I got a bad sense of humor. Like
pushing the envelope type stuff.
Push the envelope, and it's like, oh, that's borderline. That's on the edge. I kind of find usually things like that humorous. That's just me. I'm into that kind of stuff. I love Richard Pryor when I was a kid. I like the Eddie Murphy Raw. I've always liked the comedians that push the line in they genre. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different eras where what would have been pushing the lines in the 80s ain't pushing the lines in the 90s. What's pushing the 90s ain't pushing 2000s because it's already happened. So I'm all with comedians that push the line. With that being said, it wasn't nothing funny about that skit.
It really wasn't.
Nothing. It was. I don't even see how they was sitting around and was trying to think of a funny skit, and that was the skit they thought of and said, "Hey, let's make a skit about how a P word looks at violating kids." Like, what made y'all think that was funny? That was funny to y'all? Like,
and even if you was thinking that, it was way more quote unquote funnier ways to go about it or make those jokes even in sketches without using actual, you know what I'm saying?
If you want to make fun of that, you should use the adult. You should have used an adult and made them dress as a kid.
That would have been way funnier.
It would have been even if it wasn't funny.
That footage, because you don't even need that footage particularly to kind of make smart jokes about the situation. But
Tiffany Haddish, she made a joke about that years ago too. That they done dug up when she was talking about babysitting or somebody bringing their kid to work and like, oh, that's your son. He gonna be fine when he get older. What's your name? How old is you? Like, this stuff. I don't like funny.
That. That's the part that I don't like right there because now we acting like we didn't have aunties or something that said that when we walked into like our family gatherings and stuff.
No,
I'm not. But that don't mean that those aunties was touching on kids and all of that.
It's the pattern. If you making that joke, now you making this skit. That's a predatory pattern. That's like if R. Kelly made all them predatory songs for years and everybody ignored them because they good. We gotta stop ignoring
those
predators.
Only became predatory once
you realize.
No,
they was predatory.
I ain't never listened to those songs and thought about a kid.
How can you not listen to Age Ain't Nothing But a Number and not think you're talking about a child when you listen to the lyrics?
I was probably 12, 13.
Okay, but you was a child. We talking about adults. We ain't talking about child. We talking about adults, and it's like as adults, we sit there and be like, but
really
it's still
ain't no way to defend that.
It ain't
goddamn
no defending it, bro.
song,
It ain't no way to defend it. It ain't no way to defend it.
What are you really saying with that?
That's my point.
That is crazy. But I still would say this: as somebody who was listening to the music, I never thought like kids at the time. I only put predatory on that stuff after the fact, and then you listen back and be like, "Wow, was he talking about this? Did he mean this?" And you know. That's
even your body calling me. Because I'm saying, bro, everything was predatory. Now, even if you say like
players like, why you got to teach a grown woman how to have sex?
Exactly, you got to teach a grown woman how to have. Like really?
Yeah.
So I'm saying you like
seems like you ready.
Seems like you ready. Oh. Everything you could think of is predatory. So I'm saying like we see all these predatory songs and skits and these things, and then we just like turn a blind eye.
Songs though.
Hey. Bro, don't give me get us a flag on YouTube or something.
Anyways, though, but that like I say, that's the only part I don't like. Don't bring up like the old stuff that's not. It wasn't egregious then, and everybody understood the joke back then, and everybody got it back then when she had said that. And now you look at this and be like, well, oh, she must have been really talking about. That don't mean that, man. That this sketch was in very bad taste, and I'm not gonna put that on either one of them. Now,
no, you have to. You can't take accountability off of them because when it was first,
no, I'm not even the real. Like they really actually.
No, I'm
did
not.
This.
I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying they.
They got to take all the accountability for having such a bad sketch. They got to take all the accountability.
Y'all came up with that. Y'all came up with like she knew the kids' parents.
Yeah,
she coerced the kids to come do it. The kids was uncomfortable. And she basically forced them to do it.
Kids' parents is a whole nother discussion.
But the kids' parent got mental illness. It's a whole bunch of stuff to this, bro. So I'm saying I'm not giving no outs. I'm all about accountability, and not just Tiffany Haddish. Aries should be held accountable too, because you the one.
That little Cage too.
Who?
The mental illness, and now we can't say nothing.
Yeah,
Now she don't have to hold no accountability.
No,
still
the
for
mom,
putting her kids in that
she the one been
situation.
fighting for this lawsuit for years. This ain't just
Why
like
did she put her
new.
kids in
Yeah.
that situation? Why did she put her kids in that situation?
She knew Tiffany Haddish was a friend of the family. Tiffany Haddish, this was before Tiffany Haddish was like blew up. This like, you know, she started to make her move and she's like, yo, she ain't thinking nothing. It's like if one of my people who been around Jalen forever say, hey, Queese, I'm gonna come get the boys. I'm not thinking you're gonna take my son or do that skit. That's why the loss was. Oh, so you must not know all this.
And that's
see, I do my deep dives, bro. It's deeper than just like a skit.
because that's what she said happened though.
That's the lawsuit been going on for years. What happened
but
was
the lawsuit is saying that if I say that this
that's
is
what the child
happened,
is saying. The child is now old enough to say, "Hey, I'm still not right. I didn't want to do the skit. I was forced to."
Yeah, I know, I get it, and we can't say.
I ain't
nothing.
gonna say the
And
child
This is why
wrong.
people don't speak on nothing, and you can't say nothing until
can say
everything come out. But it's just like, look, all right. I'm just not ready to put those real things on them. Distasteful, all of that, they got to be held accountable for how bad that fucking sketch was and for putting those kids in such a terrible skit. But it does, if you're going to, especially in public opinion with the internet these days, I just got through not arguing with people, but dealing with people on the internet about, in the comment sections about the Adam 22 and Joe Budden argument. Yeah, well, Adam 22 won. It was like, how did he win? Just because he didn't admit to something that we all agree that he does, he didn't win. I mean, he won because they was trying this. Whatever, just whatever, man. Y'all got it.
He did kind of win.
Okay,
though.
y'all got it. He won. Y'all got it. I'm too old for the internet. I don't understand it. If I know,
What did Joe Budden win in that argument?
I don't even saying
Only
nobody
thing-
won.
I'll
I'm
say
not even
this.
saying nobody won.
It
Real
was
quick,
one
I'm
point-
not even saying nobody won. But what I'm saying is this: you can't just give the victory to the guy. If it's like, yeah, he does use it for clickbait. It might be a little immoral to do it, and as long as he don't stand up in front of them and admit to them the truth that we all know, we can still he won because he didn't bow down to them. But he didn't. We all know that that's what he doing. So as long as he stand on it and say, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that, I do this, I'm a journalist
what
for
is
the
he-
people because they want to see it.
what is he doing?
Everybody be like, he won.
What is he doing though?
He ain't doing nothing but having a successful fucking business, and salute to that man for
Exactly.
making millions. That's
That's
all he doing.
He ain't
That's
doing
all
nothing
he
no
doing.
different than like
No
is
different than
there
anybody
black
else.
content creators?
No different than
who
a
do the
radio.
same thing?
No different than a
Absolutely. No
radio
different than
who
a
plays
radio.
music when somebody dies.
Exactly, it's the same
no
thing.
different.
He gonna get his views up. He gonna take advantage of the situation. The same thing all these other companies do. The problem is not the person like Adam 22. This is why I said he did win. The problem ain't Adam 22. The problem ain't Vlad TV. The problem ain't none of those platforms that a lot of the black content creators hate. The problem is the people who support those platforms. You know what I'm saying? If you only watching Adam 22 and you only, because we all watch these platforms. That's why y'all can hate on them and complain about it. We all watch the platforms. The problem is you got people that'll watch Adam 22 and watch Vlad, but they don't watch Doggy Diamonds. They don't watch Doc Hicks TV. They don't watch Gully TV. If you're not watching these
and all of these
platforms,
people's topics and captions and titles as clickbaity as Adam 22's
no,
Vlad
which
TV.
is the thing. You know why? Because most of the black content creators, we got more of an understanding of our culture. So we're not trying to make it clickbait.
Let's stay there real quick. Now, do we also understand that most of the people who are looking at a Vlad TV and the Adam 22 are not black people? These are the white kids who don't understand the same way they don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they popping and everything. So to say that they quote unquote culture vultures, because I wouldn't put that on them either, but to say that they are making money, but to say that they are making money off clickbaity shit, I don't want to have that argument again. Or also,
why wouldn't you put that on them? It's the truth.
I just want to stick on this.
They
argument.
businessmen, but they culture vultures.
All right, I believe that too. For them to be culture vultures,
They businessmen though.
So, but they see that's why they wanted. It took me off my point. But that's why they able to like make that and do all of that and use clickbaity stuff the same way that a black creator wouldn't, because we would understand what that clickbaity thing would do. We would understand what asking this rapper about the beef with this person, then having they rival come on and ask them about the beef. Even like we know what that would do, even if it's in the midst of asking about their music. If we all know they got beef, how about you bring them on there, talk about their music, make us watch the interview and get into them with that? Maybe we might like something on that.
Them ain't
Maybe
even
we
their
might listen
platforms.
to that.
So the question
But
gets deeper
the
than
whole
that.
argument is not. The whole argument is this: is the platform culture vulturous and clickbaity-ish, and is it like it's not beneficial for the most part to the culture as much as they would think. And
it's no benefit to the culture. It's a benefit to the person getting a big audience, because it's these platforms got these big audience because everybody want to go to these platforms for the information. But these platforms ain't even asking people about music. They bring an artist on there and they asking about street stuff and criminal activities.
And I do watch most of the interviews. They do get into music and a lot of other stuff too, but the clips that they bring out are the clickbaity stuff.
Barely.
I ain't seen the FBG Cash clip that said just signed a rapper, like new album coming out, here's a new single. Like, it ain't that.
If you do an Adam 22 interview for an hour, they're going to talk about music for 5 minutes. And the 55 other minutes is going to be about you and your ops. Or you and your experiences in the streets. It's the same thing with Vlad. Now, if you go on Doggy Diamonds, he ain't gonna talk about that. If you go on Gully, he ain't gonna just talk about that. But at the same time, since they don't got the platforms that these other, this is the argument everybody making. Now, Joe Budden you can't necessarily make that argument because you do got a platform that's just as big as anybody else's, if not bigger. You know what I'm saying? But
and he uses platform to do what he asked Adam to do, what he could do. Like, you could have an interview without talking about their street shit. They've had street artists up there that they didn't talk about no street shit. So have $1 million worth of game. But what Adam is saying is, I could, but that ain't what my audience want to hear. And what they saying is you got some responsibility to the culture, and he's saying, no, I'm just doing business. So
basically what I'm saying is this.
So if the argument, hold on, so let's stay here real quick, because I think we all saying the same shit. If the argument is he has a responsibility to the culture,
that's what the content creators, some of the black content creators.
But I'm just saying, as a black person, fuck a content creator, as a black person in hip hop who got family members that's dealing with this shit and dying from this shit and actually living this shit, and that's not seeing other black people profit as much as we seeing white people profit from it. It's aside from academics, but he don't really profit off of a lot of the death and shit like that. But
anymore.
But I will say this, do you feel like he has a moral or just the obligation to the culture to maybe not insinuate or incite such things?
And I'm going to tell you why. It ain't because I don't even agree with the black content creators, because I do. But I'm going to say, no, he don't. Why? Because of what you just said. You just said most of his people who watch his platform is what?
White.
Exactly. So they don't care about our culture. You know what I'm saying? So we need to care about our culture. Why are we not making these other platforms as big as his?
This is the problem. This is the part where I say this. I feel like I think that was the disconnect that they weren't able to get to on the podcast. He don't feel like he got an obligation. They feel like he do. I'm on the side of feeling like he does have an obligation because he did make money off of it and he did come into it that way. I understand that he didn't grow up in it and all of that. But the fact that he feel like just because he in hip hop that he need a bodyguard, that he need a gun on him, that hip hop is based off of competition and beef. That's what he think hip hop is. The fact that he thinks he's friends with both gangs, that's fucking ridiculous. So I hope we long enough to curse. But anyway, I think it's 10 minutes. But anyway, that's crazy to me. And the fact that those things, the undertones in that thinking, just seeing that is showing a significant misunderstanding of not only hip hop and the culture, but the position that you in it. And if you're gonna have that spot, as much as we could celebrate you for making that platform and everything and using it how you using it and putting black people on and Hispanic people, people of Latina X descent, I think that's how they want to be addressed now. If I'm wrong, Hispanic, I'm sorry. Let me know. But yeah, like, he put a bunch of them on. That's great. I love that too. I'm not sitting here to diminish it. But just call it what it is when they say, yeah, you're doing this stuff, it's clickbait, it's cultural, blah, blah, blah. Don't sit here and hide behind it and make it look crazy like you're not doing that and say every other thing around the fact that you are doing that. And that's what bothers me about like this whole started with the internet thing, is because you could do that on there, and because they so fake and phony, they feel like he didn't back down, he didn't stand down, so that's not just because he stood in his wrongness don't mean that he wasn't wrong. That also doesn't mean that Joe Budden and them won, because that was a terrible way to argue that point.
Nobody was, and that's when really nobody was right or wrong. It's like they basically rehashed what we already knew. Is he a culture vulture? Yup. All of them is him, Vlad, yeah. But they culture vulture into people who's not even in the culture, and then it's people, and then we are the culture, and we still go onto their platforms. Why do artists feel like when I'm on my media run, I got to go to these platforms versus going to our platforms? That's the problem. Shout out to Royce the 5'9", because Royce the 5'9" been making his rounds recently on all black platforms. You know what I'm saying? He's been making his rounds to interact with the independent black platforms. That stuff helps grow. Math Hoffa platform is growing now because it's more people going to his platform where they having conversations.
Shout out to Math Hoffa.
Yeah, they having conversations about the street tales and everything else. But they talking about hip hop. They talking about the street tales. They talking about these life. You learning more about these artists and that's that's what Joe Budden and them was essentially saying. Not knocking what they doing, because I don't even care what Adam 22. Have I watched his? Yeah, I've watched his platform. But do I watch his more than I watch Math? No. But I'm in the culture.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, if you in the culture, stop worrying about what they doing and worried about who in our culture who doing better than they even doing a better content.
But that's a different point to be like made though, because we can agree with that, and that point is true. We do need to celebrate, you know what I'm saying, our people more, but that's in everything that we do. We need to celebrate the BET Awards more. We need to celebrate all of that shit more. But I'm going to really work on that cursing thing. But I was going to make this point. He's able to do the dangerous part of it, or I guess dangerous, whatever you want to call it, that part of it is because I'm sure it's artists who got caught up in stuff because of comments and things that people said on the internet with fans and whatnot, or feeling like they have to appease to these certain fans, or they can't look a certain way to these certain fans. Fans who happen to not be in the life and looking at this stuff like a TV show and a video game and don't really care about none of them, but they are providing the numbers and the money for them, and now which in turn turns into them providing the lifestyle. You have an audience that is fed directly to from this one platform by the masses, and that's why the young black artists go there, because they not thinking of, you know what I'm saying, all of these other things. But I bet you that the person who's making a lot of money is knowing what is transitioning through everything. Also, you feeding these people that's not in the culture, these young white kids, you feeding them your version of the culture. So they're all just regurgitating that back. And it's the internet these days.
So who feeding us the culture?
We can go to our people and go to a Joe Budden, a Doggy Diamonds, a Showface, a fucking... We can go to all of them, but that's us, you know what I'm saying, supporting us. And then the few people that's, you know what I'm saying, really know the culture to come there.
Us or them?
Who bigger within our culture?
Us or them?
The population is going to be way more white kids and stuff, and way more people that go to that. So,
okay. So this is my question. That's true. Let's say we say the hip hop culture got 100 million people, right? And out of the 100 million people, let's say the majority white. So let's say 70 million of them is white people, right? And then 30 million is black people, right? By average, shouldn't one of our platforms have at least 10% of that and have 3 million subscribers or followers or whatever?
I mean, yeah, it do.
Okay,
I think Joe Budden rivals it pretty much, don't he?
No.
Academics, maybe?
No.
Academics or Joe Budden don't rival No Jumper or Vlad?
No.
Numbers-wise and subscribers?
No. Subscribers, they close.
That's what I'm saying. They compare. They not like blowing them out of the water.
They close. But that ain't the platforms that all the artists go to. So why is all the artists going there if they got similar platforms? This
is what I'm saying, because it's for two different things. They know if they go, okay, business-wise, because everybody is business first these days. Everybody know the money is the topic. Money is the talk. I'm gonna get a bigger boost probably if I go over here to No Jumper or do Vlad than if I go over here to Joe Budden. Joe Budden might throw it behind the paywall.
Can't be all about money, Craig. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Some people do both.
Most people make it about money. That's just the reality of it, and that's how we've never grown is within us. We always chasing a bag. We don't chase our culture. We don't chase holding on to our stuff, ownership. We don't chase that we gonna build each other up. We never chase. This was my whole thing about supporting and showing love. We don't build our own shit, bro. I don't care what Vlad and them doing. The reason they can do it is because to your point, if it's more white people supporting them, they can support from their people who wants to hear this content from their own people. What about us? Why don't Doggy Diamonds got 3 million subscribers? Why don't Joe Budden got 7 million subscribers? He shouldn't even be neck and neck. But you in our culture, you a former hip hop artist.
Well,
you shouldn't even be
let's
close
just keep
to
it on
that.
Doggy Diamond. Niggas hate Joe Budden for some reason. I don't know why.
What about niggas? Niggas obviously hate all niggas. Niggas hate Gully then. Niggas hate, it's so many Gilly.
Gully TV.
Gully TV. Even Gilly them. Why $1 million worth of game ain't got 5 million subscribers? That's in the culture. They got Lil Durk in the hood. They was in the projects. This is the culture. This is what everybody say they want our culture to be. Yet we don't support these platforms. I don't care about showing love. It's niggas that I was watching some statistics where I think it was $1 million worth of game. Like 65% of their views come from people who's not even subscribed to their page. What kind of shit is that? Y'all watching the videos but don't even want to subscribe to the page. Like, man, stop showing love and show support. Like, for real, like, that irritates me, bro. I feel like within our culture, we got to support each other more and more, bro.
Shit.
It ain't just about, like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know why I do that, bro. I don't know why I don't just subscribe to their page.
Subscribe. You gonna watch it anyway.
All of their interviews. It
don't matter. You
depends on
don't watch everything in none of your subscription boxes, but you subscribe to them.
Sometimes. Some people I watch every episode.
Man, subscribe to help them out, nigga. Show support. You watch enough of their content where you should be subscribed.
I do. I should.